A very good evening, dear Toastmaster and guest. Toastmaster International is a non-profit organization initiated by the leader Ralph Smelde with the sole motive to improve communication and leadership skills among the members across the globe. Toastmaster International has 15,900 clubs, more than 345,000 members in 142 countries. Wordsmith Toastmaster Club is one among them. Toastmaster International works on four pillars of values, namely RISE: R for respect, I for integrity, S for service, and E for excellence. The mission of the club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, here are some code of conduct. Kindly check if your mobile is in switch off or silent mode. Speakers who are coming to the podium to refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. When speaker is on stage, kindly refrain from walking and going out of the hall as it might distract the speaker. Members are requested to come in professional attire. It's time to start the meeting. For the benefit of guests, all Toastmaster meetings shall be started and ended by one person called presiding officer. Today's presiding officer is Toastmaster Nitya Kannan. She is a Toastmaster since 2012 and she's a blogger and a homemaker too. Thank you and over to you, Toastmaster Nitya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishant, for the warm welcome. Good evening to all the Toastmasters. Once there was an old lady who was stranded in the middle of a highway because her car had broken down. And she was worried because it was getting dark and it was a cold winter evening. So she was looking for some help and there was no help coming on her way. Then she saw one car stopped and a person got out of the car and he asked her, does she need any help? So she told him that my car has broken down. So he saw the car, he checked it and he fixed it for her. So the lady sat into the car and she started the car. Then she asked him, how much should I pay you? So this man told that you don't have to pay me anything. Just remember to share this as an act of kindness or as a thank you to the next person who needs it. After some time, this lady was riding on the road, going on the road, and she saw one restaurant where she stopped for some food. And there she saw one waiter who was very tired. He has been working the whole day, going from one table to the other, taking the plates and the food for everybody. So then he came to her and he served her the food. After some time, he got her the bill. So this lady placed $100 bill on the table, a note, and then when he came back to give the change, this lady had vanished. On the table was a small note saying that this is my way of saying thank you and sharing an act of kindness. Do remember to help someone and share the kindness when you see who needs it the next time. So the kindness that is a kind like a free-flowing river, dear Toastmasters. When we share one act of kindness, the other person will share another act of kindness. In this way, we will be able to touch many different people with just one act. In the same way, even in Toastmasters, if you see, we have so many mentors and so many experienced people who are sharing their knowledge with us very freely. And when we learn from them, it's our duty and responsibility to share that knowledge with other people. Speaking of a freely flowing river, reminds me that knowledge is also like a freely flowing river. When you go to a river, if you take a small cup with you, you will only collect a cup full of water. But if you take a bucket with you, you can collect a bucket full of water. So in the same way, when we come to knowledge, when we come to Toastmasters, remember to bring a big bucket with you, so that you will collect as much as knowledge as you can and take all the opportunities that you get. With that, I would like to welcome you all for the 665th meeting of Chennai Wordsmiths, and welcome. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Shakti. He is the Assistant Area Director of Division B5. So, would you like to say something?
All, it's been a pleasure being part of Wordsmith Toastmasters Club meeting. Looking forward for, as said by Toastmaster Nitya, a knowledgeful session this evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shakti. So now I would like to call Toastmaster Sweta to read the minutes of the previous meeting. Toastmaster Sweta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitya ma'am. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a minute.
A quick share. Toastmaster Bhuvnesh, can you kindly turn off your video while you're driving? I think as a cautionary thing, it's important. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Today I'm going to read the minutes of previous meeting, which was on 23rd April 2022, meeting number 664. It was a hybrid meeting. The theme of the day was Think Out of the Box. We had two prepared speech. First speaker was TM Chidambaran and second speaker was Toastmaster Nitya. The recommendations given by general evaluator was SAA should use Sergeant at Arms instead of IM SAA for today. Meeting started 5 minutes late due to settlement. Speakers should be ready with the speech details and evaluation sheet before taking the slot. There were some connectivity issue which had been taken care instantly. TT master should choose the topic aligned with word of the day. TT speaker and evaluator should also be evaluated. The announcements where division level contest will be held on 24th April 2022. Link has been shared in group. A joint meeting has been scheduled with Diamond City Toastmasters Surat on May 8th, Sunday from 10:30 a.m. to 12:45. Club election will be held in the last week of May. Our club is planning to conduct international joint meeting in first week of June. Achievers were Best Speaker Toastmaster Nitya Kannan, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Sasi Kumar, Best TT Speaker DTM Reena, Best Role Player Toastmaster Jyoti, Best Tag Role Player Toastmaster Chaitanya. Congratulations to all winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sweta, for your meticulous narration of the minutes. It's now time to start the meeting proceedings. The meeting will be conducted by a person called as the Toastmaster of the Day. And today's Toastmaster of the Day is an ambitious and a dynamic entrepreneur. He runs a security service company. He dreams of achieving great heights in his business ambitions. He's also the VP membership of our club. Please join me to welcome Toastmaster Bhuvanesh, who is our Toastmaster of the Day.
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So, today's meeting topic would be achieving your dreams to reality. So, that would be the theme for the day. And we have a prepared speech session and table topic session and evaluation session followed by. So, coming to this point, so that would be the thing. Achieving dreams to reality. What we have, what are the ideal things we can, what are the areas and challenges we face on our daily life, and we all have dreams on that. So how are we going to achieve over that? That would be an ideal thing for every human being. So we are going to discuss over it in that way, followed by general evaluator for the day would be Nitya ma'am, Toastmaster Nitya. She is a blog writer and a homemaker. I've been in Toastmaster for a decade. So welcome, Nitya ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhuvanesh, for the warm introduction. Good evening, everyone. I am the general evaluator for today. My role as general evaluator would be to keep an eye and monitor the proceedings of the meeting from the start to the end, because the evaluation is that which provides us the stepping stone for continuous quality improvement. And it is like a benchmark which we will keep for the next meetings. So while doing this general evaluation, I will be supported by two teams. One is the tag team and one is the evaluators team. The tag team is the one who are going to monitor the speech, the vocabulary, the timing, the language, the grammar. So they are known as the timer, counter, and the grammarian. So today's timer is a young enthusiastic student. He is a student of ECE. His hobbies are going to gym, and he's also our lively sergeant at arms. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nishant.
Thank you, Toast. Thank you, General Evaluator. So, good evening to everyone present here. Today, I'll be playing the role of timer. So, as a timer, it is my duty to note down the times taken by the speaker evaluator. So, for prepared speakers, the time will be given as 5 to 7 minutes. At 15 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. Sorry, some issues, so I'll be sharing my cards during the speaker. So, at 50 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. For evaluation, it is about 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 2.30 seconds, at 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at third minute, I'll be showing the red card. For table topic session, it is about 1 to 2 minutes. So at first minute, I'll be showing the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at second minute, I'll be showing the red card. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Nishant, for making us all aware about the timing criterion. Next, it is time to call the R counter. Our R counter is a person of various academic accomplishments in physics, in management, in MCA, corporate law, and in international business. He has 20 plus years in IT experience, and he is a vice president in a MNC bank. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Suresh, who will explain the role of grammarian.
Thank you for a warm introduction. Thank you, Nitya. So being as a leader, so whenever like we speak, so our views should be go very clear and effective way to audience. And unconsciously, like what happened from childhood or maybe like in young age, we pick some word which is not part of our communication, and that used to like deteriorate our effectiveness of our communication. So being as a counter, my role is identify those words which are not part of actual communication. I will identify, and I have divided in three part. One is a non-lexical, like Second is like a repetitive word, like unconsciously people use, I mean, like repetitive word which is not part of, or maybe like some word they used to repeat, and sometimes they take longer pause. That also sometimes confuse the audience. So I've been noting down, and end of the day, end of the meeting, I'll be producing my report whenever I call upon by evaluator TM Nitya to produce my report. Over to you, TM Nitya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh, for explaining the role of the R counter. Now it's time to call an important person who is going to keep a watch on your grammar and language. That is the grammarian. Today's grammarian is Toastmaster Anisha. She is a student. She is a music enthusiast. She calls herself a newbie Toastmaster, but she has been gathering experience in leaps and bounds by taking part in various activities in Toastmasters. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Anisha.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster today, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Very good evening to all of you. Responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and to listen carefully to their language usage, as well as any good usage of language, which may be a good vocabulary, an apt quote, a saying, or a thought. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of today. So the theme today is achieving dreams to reality. And once you achieve a goal or a dream, it's called triumphs. So the word of today is triumph. which means a great victory or achievement. It can be used both as a noun as well as a verb. For example, a garden built to celebrate Napoleon's many triumphs has a noun. Triumph has a noun. And the Soviets triumphed the war has a verb. And synonyms of triumph are victory, conquest, success, achievement, and etc. All of the members as well as guests are encouraged to use the word of the day as much as possible. And I'll be back with my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anisha, for explaining the role of the grammarian and also for introducing the word of the day. With that, now the tag team has been introduced to you. It's now time to hand over the control back to the Toastmaster of the day, Bhuvanish.
Yeah. Now we'll be starting with the prepared speech session. In that, we are starting with the first speech. And that the evaluator PM Ashit will be introducing the target speaker.
Very good afternoon to all of you. My target speaker is Toastmaster Bala. The pathways that he has chosen is innovative planning. It's a level 1 project 2 speech. The title of his speech is Does Life Reckon in Red Marvel? Timing is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of his speech is, the purpose of this project is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. I wish Toastmaster Bala the best in giving this speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashia. I just wanted to make sure if I'm heard and being seen. Yeah, thank you. Wow, is it not a pleasant sight when someone red carpets you to the moment of your life? What better gift to give other than a bunch of red roses to show your love and affection? Red is everywhere around us. It is kith and kin of the things that we do. The lifeline of human body, blood is red. Red signifies sacrifice, courage, victory, and whatnot. Red also might have led us to the outer space. In just 250 million kilometers from Earth spins its resembling twin, the red marvel, called as Mars. Red is also the shade of Mars. To ancient Roman, the Mars was a symbol of blood and war. Mars may just have heard the distant cry from Earth of its massive resource depletion and exploitation, and may just have sent a calling for human settlement. It is this calling which was not only the greatest secret the planet could have held for mankind, but also fed the thought of life exploration on Mars. Mars is roughly a little over half the size of Earth and has a land area of all the continents combined together. Temperature here could range from 200 below zero at the poles to 80 above at the equator. Mars is nothing but a frozen desert of dust and ice. To know if life reckons in Mars, scientists went behind searching for clues to find if it had water and atmosphere. They've been able to find dried up riverbeds and lake channels through rover sent on mission to Mars. So water, the elixir of life, the most crucial of all the components for the sustenance of life, was available or present back in those ancient times. That was billions and billions of years ago. The water even flowed through these riverbeds and stayed on the surfaces of these lakes. So what happened to all the water which was once present in the red marvel, the Mars? As Mars happened to have no strong ozone layer and magnetic field, the solar radiation seemed to have stripped off the atmosphere of the planet, thereby evaporating all the water present. Scientists were now surrounded by a feeling that they were trying to get perilously close to the discovery of water, yet they were so far. But they did not give up. They took the next giant leap in the discovery of elements for existence of water. In 2002, NASA's rover identified vast reservoir of helium around the equator of the planet. The hydrogen in this helium was in close resemblance to the hydrogen which was present in H2O, the water. All the hard work of the scientists was slowly trying to bear fruit and pay rich dividends. In 2008, there was another historic breakthrough they've achieved by finding ice just a few inches beneath the surface of the planet. So with this, they were able to connect all the dots together in their path to discover if life could be possible in the red marble. In a sequence to these two events, there was another astonishing moment when a reconnaissance rover sent back photographs of thick glaciers covered under a layer of dust. In the minds of the scientists, all the pieces of puzzle were falling in its places, slowly, neatly, and steadily. It ain't over until it is fully over. The presence of water in the form of ice could not well have driven home the point or the conclusion that life could be possible in Mars. So it needed atmosphere and greenhouse gases, which forms the basis of life's creation, flourishment, and nourishment. So where will all they come from? It would take a planetary engineering of inconceivable proportion to create an artificial atmosphere in Mars. Some vague theory even advocates making man-made explosions for releasing carbon dioxide to form the atmosphere. Very outlandish. And even with the formation of atmosphere, it will just still leave us with the mystery of life's possibility in the red marble still unsolved. So scientists began on or embarked on a journey to find or create microorganisms which will mark the cusp of time in the evolution of life forms. We are a fair distance away, or more than a fair distance away, to conclude if life could be possible in this red marble. It might be even 50 years or 100 years, whoever knows. Let us not dream about Mars right now. We have a great responsibility on our shoulders, and we would need to make this planet a beautiful and a safe place to live for us and rest of us. And if we do that, the possible answer for future is right up here than in Mars. Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Bala, for this speech. And Bala is actually a software engineer, works for Zoho, and that's a short intro of him. And next speaker would be Toastmaster Shaji, and the evaluator, Toastmaster Shakti. Over to you.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Today I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Shaji, where he is delivering his level 4 project 1. And here goes the purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. And also the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a change management plan. I'm sure today Toastmaster Shaji will be sharing a triumph plan, the change management which has happened in his life. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. wish you all the best, Toastmasters. Over to you.
Change is painful. It is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Don't you think, Toastmasters? Good evening to you all, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often. Changes can affect both individuals and groups. Throughout our lives, we go through many changes, especially in during adolescent stage, and in our jobs, personal life, etc., etc. I just wanted to pose you a question. Are you prepared yourself to embrace the change? My life as an example, if I can take, from baby, I changed into a kid, and then to a man, then a married man, later a husband, then became a parent, and as the time passes on, I am going to be a grandparent. Life is all about the change. I have seen in my life that some people who have dealt with changes in their lives have become inspirational to others. For example, Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was a scientist and he later became the president of this country because of their courage, determination, and optimism. I have also seen several people changing their lives physically, emotionally through diet and regular exercises, and those people give us inspiration and motivation. I myself is an example for the same. Let me tell you my story of embracing the change. 15 years back, I was overweight, approximately 105 kg, and made several attempts to reduce my weight, but I was very much unsuccessful. Later, I realized and I was determined that I should reduce my weight and I should make it at least 75 or 70. During 2007 January, I made a pledge myself. I will reduce my weight and struggled a lot. For 4 months, I got my weight reduced by controlling diets, regular exercises, etc., etc., etc. This particular change gave me more confidence. In order to achieve this, my God, in order to achieve this change, I had to sacrifice a lot. When my friends take ice cream, I cannot eat. I never had. I don't take sugar. I don't eat a lot of rice. I was sure if I had not taken such a decision 15 years back, I would have been sick. Today, I would have taken a lot of tablets. Instead, today I am quite healthy because of the change I went through some time back. Similarly, during my early days of my job career, I never realized change is important. I was working in an education company and I was almost stuck with no intention to shift. Later, I realized the job was not so challenging for me. My kids are growing. I needed a better pay, etc. And when I wanted to relocate myself, I started looking out for a new job. I realized most of the education companies are not doing very good. That was during 2015-16. In the sense, I cannot expect the salary what I want. Then I noticed several sectors opened, coming out with different offers. Then I thought, why don't I make an attempt? Then I applied for a job at the food industry, and I was able to convince my interviewers, and I was offered the job. I learned. Here I am in a new career, which really, really lifted me up. I learned lots of new things which I never knew with related to the food industry. I understood the nature of the food business, composition, food licenses, lab testing, industrial unit with machineries, production, staffing, packing tons of food materials, transportation, meeting government officials, getting order from government and collecting the money from the government department, etc., etc., etc. As I was given more responsibilities, I had to come out with an action plan for deliveries with the help of my team, where the ready-to-eat foods are delivered to Anganwadi centers within 15 days of getting order from the government of Uttar Pradesh. Initially, the entire activities were really challenging for me. As I and my team, we need to deliver 3,000 metric tons of ready-to-eat food to 8,000 Anganwadi centers in 4 districts of Uttar Pradesh. I had to overcome several challenges, particularly the production delay. Sometimes the trucks get stuck up. The food packets are open, weather conditions, and there were enough limitations. During such situations, I had to rework the action plan to get the those foodstuffs delivered in time, as all these are time-bound activities. Now, over the period of time, I started identifying the critical areas and took enough precautions as part of my action plan to implement the change in terms of manpower, logistic, deliveries, and I had been very successful by reducing the penalty amount drastically, for which I was appreciated by my management. Now, during this transformation of change, in my early days of transformation of change, I was so uncomfortable. I was so stressful. I had my own doubts whether I would be able to adapt the change. And I'm really happy to say that I was really successful in embracing the change. To conclude, fellow Toastmasters and guests, again I want to reiterate, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. If I have not taken a decision to embrace this change, I would not have achieved what I have achieved today, and I would have been stagnant. We must be open to change. We must learn new skills. Today, change is inevitable. I wish to ask all my fellow Toastmasters and guests, would you like to embrace the change? Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Saji, Toastmaster Saji, for this wonderful speech. About Saji, Saji has been working in our food industry from Lucknow. So he's a dream, some ambitious person. So coming to the theme of the day, as we all know, having a dream is one of the everyone's essential thing. But how we coming to this reality, making it to reality is a big part. In that case, I came across 5 hacks which people would have gone through and used this in their life thing. So one of it was dreaming big. So once we dream big about how we can make it out, and by seeing these things, we can able to know how we can achieve these things. So dreaming big would be the one of the factor, and others would be setting a time frame. What time frame it will be needed for the concerned thing. Sometimes we think about that the time frame about the concerned dream would be even more lasting, but the concerned part is how long we're going to make it. It all comes with the persistence and deliverability. So on that case, these are the second thing which I saw with the thing. And being a big believer, which has been one of the major things, in that first we should believe in ourselves, where we can able to have the conviction and make the things happen. Even your environment, even your own people, friends or families will be against you. In that case, you should stand by yourself and show your identity and release what you want to do in your life and achieve those things into reality. It can be anything, being right from your career, having scoring good marks in your school days, in board exams, or getting a scholarship of getting a college from a reputed admission from a reputed college, or getting placed in a very fortunate company, or getting a better life partner would be the case. So all would be a dream. So all have a dream. In that case, today's next session would be a table topic session led by a, a very bold lady, woman, Miss Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, who's a social entrepreneur and as a strong believer would be heading this next session. Over to Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bhuvnesh. Yeah, you bet I have to be very bold to dive into something like this with all the Toastmasters. And I'm sure all of you are going to buckle up and get ready for this awesome session, which usually is a crowd puller for any Toastmaster session, table topics. Today, I would like to take you all on a different route without compromising on quality. I'm going to request first, if I can have volunteers from our team of 12 in this group, I think. If you cannot do that, I'm going to pick the names. I'm not able to see everybody. If you can post your name on the chat box. Any volunteers?
We have a volunteer.
I'm sorry, I can't hear that, right?
It's me. I'm ready to volunteer.
Okay, one is Nitya. The first person is Nitya, the others can get ready. I've got some names kept. All right, quickly. Let me give you a quick brief what I plan to do. I'm going to have my dear friend Toastmaster Anisha run by a few slides. The instruction will be, Toastmaster Nitya, can you pick any word? Anisha, can you please close the box? The side is visible. Thank you. There's always a slip between the cup and the lip. So when the words come up, I want you to check and tell me between 1 to 4, can you pick a number, please?
I'm picking 2.
2, perfect. So Nitya, you will see few words come up. You'll have to start speaking, and the timer has already instructed about the time that you'll be given. When the words come up in the first slide, you'll start speaking on them and keep your eyes on the slide. Can I also have the timer pinned over here, please? As requested, Zoom Master, can you kindly pin the speaker, the shared screen, and the timer so we don't miss out?
I need to start speaking when the
words we will
come.
Show you some words. Yes, that's right. Thank you. And I'm going to request everybody to applaud for Toastmaster Nitya, who has very nice and very kindly volunteered to be the first speaker. All right. You're going to just speak on the words that you see displayed. Would you need any further clarification on that, Nitya?
Just to speak on the words that are displayed, right?
Use the words. Use the words.
Okay.
Frame your sentences and your time limit, you know. Okay. Slide, please. Anisha. Anisha, will you just click, please?
One second, ma'am.
Okay, maybe if you would like me to read out the words.
Yes, sure. Well, whichever is convenient. Can do it.
Okay. The 2 words you're getting first is fantasy, hallucination. Fantasy and hallucination.
Okay. As a blog writer, my fantasy is that one day I will publish a wonderful book. I have been writing quite a few blogs over the last 3-4 years. So my fantasy is that I will be getting a lot of people coming at my doorstep to publish the book. They'll say, "Arya, we'll pay you so much of royalty. You are a celebrated writer." They'll put me on the list of the top bloggers, and I'll get a lot of money through lot of blogging and endorsements.
Eyes on the slide. Eyes on the slide.
Okay. The triumph would be when I get these endorsements and these blogs to write, but the reality is that I have not been getting any special offers, though I keep dreaming that I will do it someday with my continuous perseverance and dedication.
Keep going.
Okay, so, and the hallucination, the word I saw first was that, yes, sometimes we do fantasize about all these good things to happen to us, but the hallucination is also there, that we will think about things that scare us, that, you know, it doesn't happen. Then what happens? Then whether I will not be able to write anymore, will I stop writing? So these are the things that I always have in my mind. So this writing is a very important topic close to my heart. It brings out a lot of creative aspects in me. So I've been trying writing a blog every week, but the reality is I have not been able to be as focused. My dreams are to become a famous writer, a blogger. Well, I just keep working hard. And thank you. That's about it.
Thank you very much, Nishant. And Nitya, Nishant, are you keeping track of time?
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Anisha, everything is visible, sweetheart. Okay. On the checkout. Okay, never mind. Fine, fine. The next person who's going to volunteer. We are in Toastmasters, which means there's no way we can wait around. Okay, that's Suresh. And I'm going to just throw a lucky draw. If it is okay with Toastmaster Shakti, will it be possible for you to take up to table topics later? Or if you're busy, it's fine.
Yes, I could.
Okay, later. So now we're going with Suresh. Suresh, set number 2 is gone. You have to pick from 1, 3, and 4.
I'll pick 1.
1, okay. Now what you're going to see is keep your eyes on the slide. As you see the slide move, you're going to use those words and speak. Your time starts now. Anisha, slide 1. Accomplishment.
Yeah. So from childhood, I started my life from the village, and from beginning I was very ambitious. While I was a kid of 5, so I thought of seeing in the sky. I'll go out of this village and I'll keep so many accomplishments in my life, and with a dream I started my life, and I think of like how can I move out of this village to a city to get good education. And I know one thing very sure, like this education is going to help me a lot. And from beginning, I focus on a study, and I try to achieve these complete achievements from the village, and finally I moved to city with a dream. One day, definitely I'm going to achieve so many things, and I'll try in my life whatever I thought of becoming. I being as a village person, rural person, like belonging to rural person, like it's very the great dream for me, like working with the MNC company, and especially like the person who speaks only Bhojpuri. Then I come to know like I need to also focus on the to be victorious. I need to more focus on language as well, because I was earlier more focused on the science, mathematics, and recently I did my cloud computing from the Great Lakes Institute of Management, where I got 100% marks in 8 subject out of 10. So these are the small things started to contribute, and I reached on this position. And again, I dreamed like, why can't I go for the getting the admission in the best institution, like top 20 institution. So start making effort, and still like from what journey has started from my childhood. Now I'm just crossed 45 years. Still, I am learning, learning, and in education, I know like this is not my final triumph. I need to move forward. And also Jewish person. So what they say, they struggle for 2,600 years to establish their country, and that gone generation to generation. So same methodology I read long back ago, and I started to transit whatever my experience and knowledge in my daughter, and now I am not going forward with alone, but I am moving towards my achievement or dream to achieve whatever I dreamed in childhood with my daughter. Maybe I'm not going to achieve, but I'm sure like it was what they did 2,600 years before. Definitely, I'm going to achieve all those achievements through my daughter. Thank you.
Okay, now we are left with, I think, 2 more speakers to go. May I request Toastmaster Shakti? I hope I'm not pulling you off from your evaluations. Will it be okay, sir?
No, not at all.
Perfect.
I have one quick question. So as per the concept, you will be displaying few words and I have to link those words and have to.
Yes, absolutely. You got it bang on. So you're going to be getting like 2 slides. So I want to know, we've already taken 1 and 2. So you're left with 3 and 4. So which is your pick?
I go with 4.
4. So when you just eyes on the slide and as soon as you see it, use all the words and just speak. Thank you. Over to Anisha. These are all your words. That's it.
Okay. So everyone would undergo a lot of phenomenal changes in our life. So one such change happened when I just shifted from a testing engineer to a trainer, and it was not that easy. And when I started into learning and development process, I had a lot of challenges before me, but I used to imagine myself as someone who always want to look at on a bigger picture and have to travel towards vision or mission. So at every, I can say that at different stages of my life, once I come across the challenges and once I ensure that I'm just putting all my effort towards the job or towards the vision or mission which I'm traveling, whenever I taste any kind of success or triumph, and I think that motivated me to go forward. And I'm sure in this 10 to 12 years of journey in learning and development field have given me a lot of knowledge, and I've met many people who have given me a lot of mentoring at different stages of my life. So I should always thank to them. And without their support, definitely I would not have been so much successful. Over to Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shakti. And we come to the last topic, the last set. Anybody volunteering, or would you like me to call out? Is it okay if I ask our wonderful educational speaker for this evening to, if he's there? DTM Arun Sridhar? Are you there, sir? Okay, probably till he comes in. Who are the others? We have 13 people here. We have one lovely name, Jayanti Kandasamy. Who's going to volunteer? We are Toastmasters, for God's sake. Who's going next? Aha. All right. I think.
Yeah, I will go next if possible.
Pardon?
If I can take.
I hope you are staying put in one place. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. And you're left with only the third set. Thank you. You escaped, and thank you for staying in one place to take up this table topic. All right, please go ahead, Anisha, with the last set. Eyes on the slide. Please start.
So, good evening, Toastmasters, I guess. So, reality. We all in today's digital era, our conscious levels has been reduced. I would say that, and even for me as well, reality is a ground check. That's a one thing that we should be hold the decision with all the things. So, getting on dreams, we have many dreams to cover over the period, but we have to plan accordingly to the reality. So that would be the thing. And delusion, we should not be overwhelmed with the part of the dreaming. What we have to do is setting up the strong skill set with that, so that it will be helpful for us where to lead and how to succeed with the pathway. And getting on time, which will be a greater section. So that would be the thing. So that would be the thing. So being on reality would be the crucial part. So setting up a time frame and achieving through the pathway and getting a guidance with the people and supporting us would be the best way to do it. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much. With that, Anisha, are we done with all the 4 sets?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. This brings us to a halt with the table topics. However, it's very easy for us to get all excited and all that. But today I noticed everybody was stiff as old boots. What was happening? So we always say, at Toastmasters, if you really see, I'm going to quickly run you through as to why did we do this. Very interestingly, the idea of table topics, according to Toastmasters International, is to develop critical and organized thinking skills. We had a topic a couple of weeks ago, which we said was thinking out of the box. If you keep practicing periodically, time and again, there's no way you could lose the skill. Typically, table topics. Why are we doing this table topics? It's only so we can take care of the verbal crutches, the ahs and the ums and the oohs and the rate of speech. According to a lovely lady, her name is Susie Dent. She's an expert. She's the lady who is behind the dictionary and she's a lexicographer. According to her, the research states most adult speakers across use about 20,000 words. But the passive vocabulary for most of them will be about 40,000 words. With that being said, all that is expected of you to do over here, what did we pick? All the words you saw on the slides were all the antonyms and synonyms of the 3 words that is significant today. The theme of the day and the word of the day: dream, reality, and triumph. In the English language, we always follow, when we do sentence structuring, subject, verb, and object. When we are doing an impromptu or a table topics, the idea is the best is when we're able to look at somebody, have the eye contact, have the hand movement, just be ourselves. It is okay to goof up confidently, connect with the audience. When we talk about a prepared speech versus a table topics, you cannot deny the harder one is the 1 or 2 minutes. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters here, what did you think about what each one presented? All that was expected was to use those words. Nobody said there's a fail or a pass. Well, yes, a poll is always there. How would you score yourself? This came to you after a lot of research. It's easy for me to give you a horoscope long sentence and say, speak on it. But when I just gave you words, you had to build on it. That is what table topics brings to you. Your vocabulary, lexical resources, the way you sentence structure the whole thing and how well you bring it out. That is the idea of table topics. And thank you so much, Nitya, bringing up about a blog and each person using all the words there. With that, I would like to quickly ask the timer, how much of time have we utilized till now?
We have 11 minutes.
Do I still have time? Because we are not going to do more than 4. The idea was to be very specific, do that and be done with it.
Okay, time's got over. So
Thank you very much.
thank you, ma'am.
Very kindly put. Thanks. Okay, it got over. Thank you. I like the tone of voice. Thank you very much, Sergeant Adams and Timer Nishan. And over to, I think it's the table topics is done. So it has to be the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much. And I do hope this sent some information across. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for a valuable session. So, as I said, getting the dreams to reality is one of the crucial part. In that way, the crucial thing which of 1 or 2 more facts has to be shared, which was, have you shared your dreams to others? Have you revealed your dreams to others so that you can be accountable on yourself and try to achieve over the days? In that case, even a dream, a big dream or a small dream, it can be any other case, but revealing to the world or revealing to the world and nearby friends about your dream would be taking you to the extra mile to take actions. Now, I said taking actions. Small steps towards achieving the goal would be a big thing. So take the small steps, what you want to achieve in tomorrow's thing. So that would be the thing. Taking small steps and taking actions persistently would be helping you to reach your dream faster in reality. So in that case, today's session, coming to a last section, which is, sorry, I've been in the road actually. So the last session would be the evaluation session and be taken over by the speakers. So over to Toastmaster Nitya ma'am for Toastmaster Nitya ma'am for evaluation, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhuvanesh. It's now time for the evaluation session of Toastmasters. This is going to be as I said, this is a feedback session where we will all know exactly where is the scope for improvements and where exactly we have done well. So we are going to be starting with the prepared speeches. To evaluate the prepared speech of Toastmaster Bala, we have Toastmaster Ashia. She is having a degree in BCA and she believes in continuous improvement. She says that whatever we are seeing today as achievements was started earlier as a dream in somebody's mind. And because of the work they have put in, that is why those dreams have become in reality. So she says that we have to keep dreaming and also work hard to turn those dreams into reality. So over to Toastmaster Ashiyat.
Toastmaster Nitya, thank you for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. So my target speaker is Toastmaster Bala. I would like to congratulate you on one of the most interesting speeches I have ever heard here in this club. This is your second speech. I cannot believe it. I actually have to clap for you because you were so confident with your content. I felt I was watching a TEDx speech on Mars. To be honest, when I first read the title of your speech, Red Marvel, I wanted to phone Toastmaster Bala because he said, Red Marvel, what is it? And I said, no, I should evaluate the way a stranger would receive the speech. And I did the right thing because when I was here listening to the speech, my first question was, what is this red marvel he's talking about? So you used the word, you talked about red carpet, then roses, then blood, then finally you went to Mars. So for me, it was a visual speech. There was a lot of visual elements throughout your speech. And that is very important in a speech. People should not just hear what you're saying. They should also see what you're trying to tell. And I could see that throughout your speech. You were very confident. Your vocabulary was extraordinary. It was very, very good. And actually, I have seen a speech a long time ago by a person who was talking about a nuclear reactor in the second speech. And the person froze in the middle of the speech because he was trying to remember the details. And I remember thinking, well, don't speak on a topic you're not familiar with. Why do you talk about nuclear reactors when you're just a regular engineer? But you rehearsed so well that there was no nervousness. You were not trying to recollect everything. Everything just flowed smoothly in your speech. So very good effort. The only improvement I would say is that, I found that you were folding your hands in front of you when you were giving your speech. Throughout the speech that was there, I think that is very unusual and distracting. I think that is the only thing I would say that if you didn't do that, I would have given 10 on 10 to your speech. Since you folded your hands, I will say 9 on 10. That is the only thing the only recommendation I can give. So to sum it up, I would say there was excellent vocabulary, great confidence, eye contact, a visual speech, and a good, very good transitions from beginning to end. So I would like to wish you the best of luck for your future speeches and hoping to hear more from you. Thank you.
Our second evaluator for today, as I already introduced him earlier, he is the Assistant Area Director of B5. He's also a founder president of 2 clubs. And he says that he is an engineer by graduation, a trainer by profession, and he's a Toastmaster by passion. Please join me in welcoming our evaluator for today for prepared speech of Toastmaster Shaji, Toastmaster Shakti Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitya. Toastmaster Shaji, embrace the change. You started with the quote, change is painful. Obviously, change is painful. And Toastmaster Shaji, you clearly explained the changes that everyone occurs in our life. To start with childhood, then teenage, adulthood, family person, and parents. So there was a smooth transition and we could able to connect with our personal life as well. And also you quoted 2 great people. One is Dr. Kalam sir and another one, a quote by Winston Churchill. So that actually added ingredient to your speech script. And as per your speech purpose, you're supposed to share some aspect of a change management plan which you experienced or you undergone. And you shared your personal experience. Number 1, weight loss. Number 2, career change. And number 3, your changes you made in your business operations. So that actually added a perfect ingredient to your speech. And you also had a quote, awareness is the first step of change management and it should start from the mind. Yes, of course. While you mentioned about your career change, you very well explained the challenges you faced and how difficult it was to take a decision to move from one different industry to a different industry. that actually, as an audience, I could understand the emotions which you underwent at that particular stage of your life. So overall, you excelled at your speech structure. Eye contact was there throughout, and you were comfortable and you were focused. Having said that, here are my recommendations for you. Number one, voice modulation. So when you quoted Dr. Kalam, you said that he was determine an audience. So that time you would have increased your voice modulation so that would have grabbed attention from the audience. So please work on your voice modulation. Throughout, I could find that your voice modulation was in the same level. So at times you need to go up and down. That is very important part for a speaker. The second recommendation would be audience interaction. So I didn't find any interaction with the audience. Maybe you could have added audience interaction. Say, for example, when you were talking about weight reduction, you could have asked one of our member and you would have asked them like, how do you feel if one of your friend tastes your favorite ice cream or dish when I'm in diet? So that would have given some interaction with the audience. That is missing in your speech. And the third thing is specific information. So as per your guidelines, you're supposed to share specific information. You did it, but those things were there at the end of your script. Instead, if you would have spoken more about the changes you made in the organization where you're working and how you actually reduce the weight and what are the different mindset or what are the different changes you experienced when you underwent the career change, all these things would have added more value as an audience. That would be the great takeaways for the from the speaker. So overall, you excelled at speech structure, eye contact, everything. These are the three recommendations I have. So evaluation by others is always a guide for improvement. I believe my evaluation would have added some value to you. Over to Toastmaster Nithya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shakti, for that constructive evaluation with some very focused inputs. Now it's time to call the tag team to present the tag report. I would like to call Toastmaster Nishant for presenting the timer report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So for prepared speakers, Toastmaster Bala took 6 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Shaji took 6 minutes 46 seconds. Then for table topics, Toastmaster Nithya took 1 minute 39 seconds. Toastmaster Suresh took 3 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Shakti Kumar took 1 minute 38 seconds. Toastmaster Bhuvanesh took 1 minute 49 seconds. For evaluation, Toastmaster Ashyat took 2 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Shakti Kumar took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Thank you, and over to you, Nithya Khanna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishant, for that accurate timer report. It's time to call the R counter, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, Toastmaster and General Evaluator Nithya. So today I noticed 4 people didn't use any non-lexical or filler or long pauses. Big round of applause for TM Nishant, TM Nithya, TM Jyoti, and TM Anil. Sweta, she used 3 times non-lexical words and no repetitive words, no long pause. TM Bhuvanesh used 3 times lexical words and his repetitive word is show, so, and long pause 3 plus. TM Asiyat, she used 3 plus time non-lexical words and her repetitive or filler word, I could say show and there is no long pause. TM Saji, he used 3 times non-lexical word. TM Shakti used 3 times non-lexical word and his repetitive word is and. So that's a report today, our counter report. And with this note, I'm handing over control to TM Nithya. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh, for that illustrative report. And everyone can see from that report where we all need to improve. So now it's the tag reports are completed. it's time for me to hand the control back to the Toastmaster of the day. Yeah.
Ma'am, the grammarian's report.
Thank you, Anisha, for that quick and timely reminder. So it's time to call our grammarian for the grammarian report, Toastmaster Anisha.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and I would like to share my screen. Is it visible? Okay, so let us start with a good note. We'll name the good and extraordinary usages of language first. I noticed in Speaker 1 Toastmaster Bala sir's speech a very good and extraordinary usage of vocabularies such as reckons, elixir, breakthrough, and etc. and many more. And Speaker 2 Toastmaster Shaji Chandi also used very good vocabulary like embrace, inevitable, and etc. And he in a speech, he quoted a lot of people, and this particular thing I thought is a very profound thought. Awareness is the first step of change. If you think about it, it's kind of inspiring or something. And next, coming to table topic master Jyoti Thomas ma'am used stiff as old boots. I didn't know the meaning actually, so it is kind of like a poetic device or something. Like it's kind of like a idiom that is used in that. And she also used lexicographer. A lexicographer is one who compiles a dictionary. Do Google it. And coming to the not so good usages, I noticed that the word mispronounced several times. It's embrace, not embarrass. Second, moving on. Everyone. And to cover it, it's maybe used as green.
I think Anisha has having a network problem, so she seems to have gone offline. However, her report was very neatly presented, so we could see her report even if we could not hear her voice. So as soon as she joins us, we will have her back. For now, we will hand the control back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Yeah. So, on the journey of achieving our dreams, we could find crucial challenges, which will be an inevitable thing. So, having adopt an inevitable mindset, where you can't have a strong thing. If any challenges comes on, your mindset will be strong and easy to achieve over the struggles and achieve the reality. So the dreams can be anything. As I said earlier, for every human being can have set goals as per your things in every area of your life. It can be in your health goal, it can be in health wise, or it can be in your career wise, or it can be in your spiritual wise, where you can set your goals and have the dream on it. In that way, and next, having a big dream for yourself, where you should clutter all all these unwanted things which are come in the daily life, where you won't be using that much usage or that much level of thing. It can be your time, it can be any property. So in that way, clutter all these things, declutter all these things, and get to know what you want to achieve. So all I would say is keep the momentum going on throughout your thing towards achieving your goal. If the time frame is not set, set a realistic time frame where you can achieve it and visualize your dream over the thing. That's the thing. So that should be the thing. Now we have an education slot done by one of a veteran member has been in Wordsmith Club for a long time, and he's in works for Standard Chartered Bank, and he's been a vice president education role for 3 times in our club. And let's introduce and let's all enjoy the session of education slot about the XCOM roles taken by Mr. Arun Sridhar. Over to you, Arun Sridhar.
Thank you, Bhunesh. Only thing is, I don't work for Standard Chartered, although I think it's a great bank, but I haven't had the opportunity to work for them. Anyways, today we're going to be discussing about 2 of the critical roles in the EXCO, and I hope most of the people who are in the call, and a lot of people who are in the call are fairly new or newish to the club, and I'm hoping that all of you take roles, right? Suresh, Shweta, Shaji, Bala, all the ones who are already doing it, Bhuvan, Anisha, Nishant, already. So this is a very small crowd. I hope this is a very kind of an informal session. There will be a formal training about all of this. Once you become an officer, there is a formal training that is conducted by Toastmasters district that will go through the nitty-gritties of all of it. I will provide a flavor of what you can expect and why these roles are important. Right? How many of you know what is the catchphrase for Toastmasters International? What is the logo, the one marketing slogan that is there in the website?
Where leaders are made?
Yes, Ashit. Sorry, I missed out on you. You too should be standing in the election. Yes, leaders are where leaders are made, right? So, although the hook is public speaking, we hook people on the basis of getting public speaking skills. That's what Toastmasters International is known all over the world. But you will only be getting, I would say, 20% of your fees worth if you just stick to that public speaking track. It's a great track. It's how people build confidence. It's great. And at the workplace also, all the public speaking skills really help. But that's only 20% of what you get out of Toastmasters, right? Because to me, the biggest takeaway in Toastmasters International is the practical leadership experience that we gain as an officer in the club and outside the club. If you want to get your full money's worth in Toastmasters, I read somewhere in one of the Toastmasters article that the best way to really get your value add from Toastmasters is to, 1, be a president of a club, and 2, be an area director, right? As a president of a club, you're directly responsible for delivering service to all your members. That's 1. As an area director, you're responsible for serving the clubs in that area, but then nobody reports to you, right? So getting people to listen to you as an area director is difficult. So 2 different challenges, 2 very, very interesting and complementary challenges. So everyone who wants to get everything out of Toastmasters should become president and area director. And being treasurer, VP Ed, all of those things are just stepping stones. Right? I'll start with VP education. I'll give a flavor of what you can expect as a VP education candidate, and I want to customize it to what Wordsmith specific challenges that are there in Wordsmith, right? Not give a general kind of a training session that you will get as once you become an officer, you will get the training. But I want to set some kind of a specific wordsmith challenges, right? As a VPA. So VPA, all of us know. Can we just go around the table? What are some of the things that a VPA does?
Make the agenda, get people to sign up for roles.
Sign up for roles. Yeah, definitely one of the most important. Scheduling master is the most important. Yeah.
Planning the education journey of the members.
Being member focused. I like the phrase that you use. I'm going to touch upon that. Education journey of the members. From new member, a new member has a very different requirement for someone who has been here for a while. So that changes. So customizing the education program for that particular member. Very good. Anything else?
I would say that it's very important when a new member comes in to identify their goals while they are there, because I think retaining and bringing in a new person falls upon every member, but much more the key ExCom people you're talking about. If I think what is important.
Absolutely. Understanding why they have joined and customizing their Toastmasters journey is also very critical. Any other responses?
Pushing the new members to take up roles.
Yep. Absolutely. Pushing the new members to, and that's something I want to discuss, right? How do you, the membership journey? Overall, I think you got all of it right. The one thing I would add specifically from a wordsmith point of view is that the VP education should also be the chief mentor and lead the team of mentors over there. Mentorship has been, I would say, not one of our biggest strengths as in wordsmiths, and there are a lot of reasons for that. Maybe we had some attrition, a lot of senior people left, and all that. That's COVID has also been one of the factors, but somehow we need to improve that. So whoever is the next VP, I think mentorship should also be very, very important, and you should start assigning mentors. Keep on looking for some good people who can take up mentorship role, and they may not be the most obvious people. Don't look for the most senior people. Look for someone who's dedicated, right? And let's pair up the best possible combination of mentor-mentor. Okay? So I think that is pretty much covers everything I want to. Yeah, this is something I had in my mind. I just schedule. So we have seen what. Sorry, I somehow. Okay, so this is our role tracker, right? So every meeting is planned. Every meeting has an agenda, and we make sure that all roles are filled up before. I think somehow this is not filled up. I may be having the wrong sheet. Nitya, correct me if I'm wrong. Do I have the wrong sheet open? This is just a file called role tracker.
I think we are yet to fill up some of the roles. So this is the current sheet. Yes.
Sure.
Right.
So the objective is to fill. Today is April 30th, and to be in a comfortable position, 50% of the roles here should be filled. And you can do that by sending out mass communication, WhatsApp, email, forcing people to take up roles, one-to-one communication, pushing through the mentors. Right? That's definitely one. And club roster so that we can all communicate together, keep it there. You can also access this in the Toastmasters website, club roster information. Mentor mapping, we already mentored. This is one of the most critical roles as we discussed, having mentors mapped to the right mentees and making sure that they are compatible and keep a check of it, right? If it's working out, that's great. If the mentor-mentee thing is not, chemistry is not there between the two, then we can always look for a change as in mentoring. Right? So this is something in terms of scheduling that's critical. The more we have every month as we start, the more names we have in the paper, the better the meetings will be. I've seen it. The quality of meetings improves exponentially the more names we have it in plan, because otherwise how will the speakers be ready, right? If I know that I'm going to be speaking the third week of next month, third meeting of next May, then I have 3 weeks to prepare, get the script out to my mentor. My mentor also knows that he or she has to be ready and will set up some time, right? All of this works when you have a plan. Plan your work your plan. Might sound like a cliche, but it's the truth. So the better planned we are, the better quality meetings we'll have. Member experience, I think this is something we discussed. Every member is unique and their journey in Toastmaster has to be customized. And as I think Shweta said, or Jyoti ma'am said, once a new member joins in, have a chat with that person, customize their journey, ask them to take the survey. We assign some easy roles, tag team roles, timer, counter, grammarian roles. Then we slowly bring them in, probably table topic master, probably icebreaker. Okay, it's critical that the icebreaker is done as soon as possible. Probably, possibly within the first month. It will be great if it's within the first month. Because otherwise, if there's a long gap between joining and icebreaker, that usually is a bad sign. So ask them, have them complete as many speeches as they possibly can the first 6 months, and then they become one of the regular members. Then you can probably take your hands off a little bit and have them customize their journey, take it forward, have them be a little bit more self-relevant. But in the first 6 months is the critical period when most attrition takes place, and that's when they need the handholding. So assign experienced members, make sure that they give and tag roles, make sure they finish their icebreaker. And this is when the VP membership and the VP education should be in complete sync. VP membership is like a HR manager who has to advocate for the new member with the VP education. VP education is like the kind of like the manager who has to give the rules, right? So they have to be in complete sync. And then they become slightly more experienced, 6 months passes away, then how do you handle them? Those people, I think you should start pushing them outside club experience. Once they see what is outside the club, they've seen everything in the club. They've seen table topics, they've seen general evaluation, they've done contest, push them into contest, and then probably push them slowly outside, take them to an area contest, have them do a role in the area level. Then when they see excellence outside, that there are people who have different ideas, better ideas outside, and they'll start learning from that, and they become a dedicated farmer. So you push them into contests. They start winning contests, evaluation contests at the area level, and so on. They start taking roles. They start making friends outside. They start making colleagues outside. All that, and then they get interested in the area level, division level. All that plays a huge role. And then they take on an officer role, small role, sergeant role, treasurer role. They go to an OTP, officers training program. They start building their network within the movement and so on. So then the journey just takes off on its own. It's on autopilot mode. Then you don't have to do anything. They become a dedicated Toastmaster. They start accessing the resources. They know how to access resources. They know who the mentors are. They'll start driving it themselves. The first critical period is that 6 to 12 month period, and it's very, very difficult. So keep an eye on. Right? Mentorship, as I was discussing, this has been a weakness of late, unfortunately, but we have to lead by example. As VP education, your mentees have to be the best, or need to get the best mentorship, which means reviewing the speech before. You have to set the example. Review the speech. Written speech has to be reviewed before. You have to practice in front of them, if not in person, at least through WhatsApp. And then they have to deliver that speech. And you have to make sure that the mentors are meeting the mentees. Talk to the mentors, talk to the mentees, stay in touch. This is a critical thing for us. And then stand in for president. The VP education also gets a vote in the district council. So use that vote properly to vote for our leaders at the higher level. If you find some problems at the club level, go and represent that in the division level, division council meeting, district council meeting. These are all very important forums outside. So far what we've discussed is looking at it from the inside. Outside also, you have to take the problems here need to be communicated to the area directors and regional directors and so on. If you need any kind of help, you can look for solutions there. And you are a stand-in for the president. The president is not there. VP Education, the second ranking officer, has to run the meetings, has to look at all the problems and so on. So these are some of the things that that are there, and I quickly want to run through. Sorry, so. I want to quickly run through a couple of slides. I think we've covered much of this. This is training material, right? That once you go to a training, you'll be taking. I just want to quickly review it. Club meeting, before club meetings, upon arrival and during club meeting. Review schedule role, offer support to the Toastmasters, schedule education sessions. Before club meetings, ensure a member conducts presentations from the successful club series. This could be things like moments of truth, how to be an evaluator, all those education material you can. Notify the club president of education awards, so that it is publicly recognized in that particular. Apply for awards as soon as it is completed, and make sure that the member is recognized in public, in WhatsApp, in the meeting, and so on. So that's the accountability of the VP education. Upon arrival at the club meeting, verify assigned members have arrived and are prepared. Remind members to select an evaluator as the Toastmaster. So the best way to kind of put it is, it works when you do equal amount. The VP education role through that entire week, it works when you have a written plan in the agenda tracker, and you do equal amounts of work every day. Not, you don't rush and do all the work on Friday, right? The best VP educations are the ones who work equal amounts, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day from Monday to Friday. Will have a successful meeting on Saturday. An unsuccessful meeting, you do all the work on Friday or Saturday, right? So the earlier we get the roles filled, the earlier we have the members prepared, the earlier we have the speakers and evaluators exchange role, the evaluation criteria, the more successful the meeting will be. And all of us have seen it, right? The successful meetings, all of us know why they are successful, because they were planned well. Upon arrival at club meeting, greet guests, inform topic master of any guest willing to participate, and make sure that every Toastmaster member has at least one speaking role in the club meeting. We do this at Wordsmith as a culture, but because they're paying member, they expect to speak up in a meeting, right? So if not a speaker, then a timer, counter, grammarian, evaluator, or a table topic person. And then once the members are done, then you can focus on the guests. During club meeting, initial project completion records, member fill out award application, recognize member for achievement, decide over meeting when necessary, answer fan club meetings, promote participation in education program, orient new members, encourage new members to participate. Also, assign a member, attend club exco meetings. Exco meetings typically happen once a month, and as VPN, it's critical that you attend it. And district council meetings happen twice in a year, and please make sure you attend, represent the club, and vote for the next set of meetings. Facilitate member progress on Basecamp. All VP education will by default get their Basecamp access. This is where you approve awards and so on. There will be a session on how to run Basecamp, but it's important that you train yourself through online videos and everything on how to be an administrator of a Basecamp in the Toastmasters website. It's critical. Arrange for your replacement or assistance. Prepare your successor for office. So there is a training that will be done, as I said, official training. Read the material. There is extensive material that is there in the Toastmasters website. This training is one example. There are multiple articles, Toastmasters articles, blogs. There are multiple aids that are there. And to me, this is one of the most rewarding role. I've done it 3 or 4 times. 3 times in Wordsmith and then probably once or twice outside. So this challenges are just amazing and you learn a lot. So get help, right? Invite 1 to 3 members to serve on education committee. There is so much work to be done that it cannot be done by one person. So it's good to have a committee that works along with the VP education. Meet with each member to discuss education. So that's on the VP education. Any questions on VP education? I'll leave the resources slide as it is and I'll take questions, please. Any questions, thoughts?
I have a question posted there, DTM.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't see.
I just wanted this. I'm not sure if you can answer that. I'm sure you have the answer for it. If somebody comes in new, right, how much of time do they normally take for their icebreaker speech? Is there any prescribed?
No, there is no prescription. It is a self-paced program. But having said that, let's say if they join today, right? My recommendation is the next meeting they should have either a timer, R counter, or the Remarian, right? And then one more tag roll on the next Saturday, or maybe they attend or don't attend. That's fine. Then let them do a table topic, right? Let them get comfortable with the stage, and probably within the month, not more than that, let them do the icebreaker. Because strike when the iron is hot. They're looking for value. They joined, they paid the money, they're looking for immediate value. So let's give them that. So assign the mentor, or as a VP, I have mentored icebreakers myself, right? Because I couldn't find the mentor as pretty soon. So I was very, very keen to deliver that value pretty soon. So I mentored the icebreaker myself and had them do it, and then they become engaged, and then I handed it over to another mentor.
Thank you. One more clarification again from me. If somebody else is going to ask, I will stay quiet. Is there anybody who would like to ask something, or may I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
Okay. See, when many of us may not be in the XCOM, right? But we still are not very clear, as much as these kind of educational sessions happen, for whatever reason. I'm not excusing ourselves, but how do we even understand the intensity of the work that is needed? Like for BP education, how much of knowledge should one possess? Is there a shadowing system that can be brought in? I know you're talking about a subcommittee or whatever. Like, how will we know where can we be in 2 places to even decide within a given 6 months before we pick and choose?
See, I think it works best when at least from VPP, someone should start ideally from treasurer, sergeant, and then ease into one of these VP roles. That gives them enough experience, bandwidth to do it. Once if you're a VP member, then you pretty much know what the VP education is up to. Gives you a little bit of elbow room to learn that job before you go. Someone who kind of parachutes into VP education is not. I'm not saying they won't succeed, but they'll have to work a lot and get the knowledge. A lot of work is there. So I'd say just start easing with one of these roles. Pick treasurer, sergeant, secretary, even VPPR, and then should slowly ease into VP membership, then VP education, then president. Problem if you kind of jump into VP education or VP membership or president is that these are such critical roles that somehow it's hard to do without that experience.
Thank you very much. Just needed some clarification. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else on VP education before we move to treasurer?
Looks like everybody they have to write down and get back to you.
No worries.
And I think this is the time we've seen DTM fully in action. I don't think we can get these kind of things clarified. I have tons to ask. I'm going to write it down and probably send it across. But I'm going to really ask, like, how come we don't have any clarifications from, it's out of the horse's mouth right now. Please ask.
No problem. So let's get on with treasurer. So the treasurer's role in Wordsmith and in any club is rather simple. They run the treasury. They take the membership renewal fees, deposit into our bank, pay Toastmasters International. They can use their own card to pay, or it can be split across 2 or 3 cards. That's what we typically do. So if you are someone who's not comfortable doing that, then I would suggest you do not take up treasurer, because we've had these problems before. I want to be practical. So if you have a credit card or can access one, it doesn't just have to be you. You don't have to pay 1 lakh every 6 months, right? It can be split across 3 people. So I paid for 10 people, and then Anindita paid for 10 people, and Nitya paid for 10 people. And then we were able to kind of pull it all together. So that's the first thing I would say about the treasurer role, that it involves payment to Toastmasters International, and having a credit card is really important. And there was someone in our club who took up treasurer, but then she was in a high-ranking position in a bank, and she came under that Foreign Exchange Monitoring Act or FEMA, whatever, right? She was an exposed person, so if she had made those payments, then it would turn up in our record or something like that, and she was not comfortable doing that. So then she had to step down. So all that is important. Make sure that you have this. That's the only thing I would say. The second thing is that in this club we've had, unfortunately, we've not budgeted for our meeting. Not at this point. It's better. It's okay, because we only, our main expense is Zoom and then the occasional venue. But then once we go offline, I think hopefully in the next 6 months we go offline, and then there are regular expenses for venue and so on. It's important to have a budget, and that we stick to a budget, right? So what is our expense? So what is our break-even point? So we used to spend about 5,000 rupees for every meeting. So every 6 months you have 6 times 4, 24 meetings. So 24 multiplied by 5,000. That's our expense. That's how much we need to have in the treasury to run for 6 months. And then to achieve that, you need 40 members in the club, because they pay 5,000 rupees. Some of it goes to Toastmasters International. Some of it is left over. That break-even point is 40. So all of that calculation, budgeting is done by the treasurer, and that is communicated to the VP membership, president, and so on. And the president and VP membership come up with a plan. How do we attract that many members so that the club can keep running, right? So this is one. Budgeting is critical. Unfortunately, we've had issues where there were no budget, and people spent whatever they thought was appropriate. As senior members, we couldn't really control them, right? Ultimately, the president, VP Education, treasurer are running the club. I've been in Toastmasters for long, but that doesn't mean I can tell them what to do. So people have gone and given money for division conferences. We've had ostentatious meetings. I'm not talking about anyone who's involved in Toastmasters right now. They've all left. Thankfully, they've all left. But I can, without naming names, I can say that these are problems we've had. Just like any other apartment association or any association, we had. They didn't do it out of any spite, or there's no malice or anything. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "How do I screw up?" But this, when you spend money without the budget, without thinking about it, just like personal finance, it goes out of control. So that's the only thing that I would say, that have a budget, understand how much is required, once we go to the venues, how much money is required. All that is very important, and it's very interesting also. Once you get into it, it's like running being part of an apartment association, or this is something you can take away to other things also. So this is something that I would recommend for someone who's interested in that kind of treasurer, working with money kind of thing. Any questions on
Is
treasury?
is it necessary to be from account for taking the role of treasurer?
No, there's no necessity.
Okay, thank you.
Although we've had accountants like Ramanujam is a good example. He's an accountant. He's a district treasurer. He's a treasurer for our club, and he set up all the accounts and all that. So that's great. But there is no requirement that you be an accountant. I'm not an accountant, but I've worked with the treasury. So
Okay, thank you.
I think we also just some wordsmith specifics, right? We had issues with the CSB bank. Not issues, but our way of working is different, right? Every 6 months it changes, and the signee was the same for 10 years. So we recently moved to a new bank. So Nitya, you want to? Is it done? That work is done, right?
Yes, we have opened the new account in that Federal Bank T Nagar, and the formalities from our side are completed. Yesterday, I pinged the person concerned. He said that everything is done. Now only from their side, it is ready, and it will be opened by yesterday or today. So Monday, I will ask him. Mostly
Okay,
it is
great.
already complete.
So that resolves one of the biggest logistic challenges we had, which is to
Yes,
get
the
signatures.
ease of banking transactions for us.
Ease of banking transaction is over. So in the next, whoever takes up treasury, it becomes easier. There is a QR code. You can pay through the QR code, and although we don't get a credit card or a debit, I think we may get a debit card, but I don't think we get a credit card. But
you won't get any cards because it is a current account.
Okay. But ease of operations have improved a lot with Federal Bank, right? Because the signatories can change every 6 months. That's our way of working, right? For 10 years, me, Yuva, and one other person were signatories. Yuva has left Toastmasters, and I'm the only one who's still connected. So I've been signing checks, which is fine. But then it can't be there for 10 years, right? So every 6 months, we will change the signatories. And it is easier to do because Federal Bank knows our way of working. They work with the district treasury team. They know that every 6 months it changes, and it's easier. You just have to pass a resolution, give them a copy of the resolution, club resolution, and they get it done. So that also, in terms of ease of doing business, that is also something we've improved. So the only thing is credit card usage, and that is also doesn't have to be for one person. Doesn't have to burden one person. It can be split across 3 people. I'm there, other people are there. Jyoti ma'am helped us out once, and it's something we can split across. But that's a constraint, and hopefully your job is not a job that is regulated, and can't do it kind of thing. I think I've covered any questions on treasurer roles and responsibilities.
I have some generic member-related question in terms of payment of membership. Say, is there a possibility, do I have to make the payment here? Or what if I get somebody to make the dollar payment right there in the US? Will it still, will it have any issues over here? Or I have to make the payment only in our club?
I'm sorry, you want to pay directly to Toastmasters?
If there is somebody in the US who can pay by dollars.
No, you can. The only thing is you have to log into the Toastmasters website and pay. So it's about having that username password, right? And that login credential, Club Central credential, is only given to the 7 members in the EC. So only the 7 members in the EC have access to Club Central, in which you can pay.
So that becomes like the credentials will be, I'm sure, privacy.
And it doesn't, logistically, how will it make sense is that each member is given that username password, they have to go and pay that. That doesn't work, right? So
no, not for everybody. I'm saying if there is an option, because I know earlier I did use a pay directly there and then Does it still reflect? Okay, thank you. This is just an offbeat question.
No, as far as I know, there is no option for the individual member to pay on their own.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just one thing I missed out is prepare a budget for sure, and then let me quickly share my screen. Prepare a budget and present reports to the club, right? This is something we should make a habit. Present financial reports. How much have we spent? How much is still there in the bank? All the update we can give to the club. Submit club accounts for audit. At the end of the 6-month period, you can have an audit committee and have them look at what is your current, how much do you have in the account, and do you have a statement of accounts for all the spend you have. So that just work with executive committee on club success. Yeah. So I think this role has been made much easier now than it was before, and I want to thank Nitya and Anindita and all the others who are involved for making it happen with Federal Bank. So fingers crossed. Finally, we are at the last step done from our side, and the treasurer role will become smooth as a whistle. And that's it. I think that concludes everything I want to say about the treasurer role. Any open for questions or anything on VP education, any role, any questions you may have on Exco. I hope all of you take up roles. This particular group of people who are there in this call, I'm happy that it's a small group who are listening in, and I hope you go on to take up roles. It's really amazing amount of confidence that you get once you see the club change and become better than it was before. The confidence really grows, and there is no other way to learn leadership. You can read books, you can listen to articles and all that, but the practical way of learning leadership in Toastmasters, it's a boon for us. And I think Toastmasters is a place where leaders are made, and please make use of this opportunity. Thank you, and over to the Toastmasters.
As the Toastmaster of the day, Bhuvanesh is.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the valuable session. And yeah, I said so for the thing, and I said leaders are made as per the tagline of Toastmasters being. Obviously, this would be a practical session that we can enhance our competence and capabilities with this thing. And thanks for the session. So back to the theme of the thing, actually, as I said, getting a thing and having a time frame and having an inevitable mindset, having facing these challenges and all, some collective measures where we need to take to fulfill our dreams to reality. In that case, so that would be the case of towards theme, and over to general evaluator. Nitya ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhuvanesh. Now I'll be just donning two hats. One is the role of a general evaluator as well as then of the president. So without taking too much of time, I will just submit my general evaluator's report. The first point was speakers were present ahead of time, which was a very good thing. The visual background has been used very well today. Meeting began at 4 p.m. sharp. Most of our videos were on. In fact, all the videos were on at some point of time too. The tag team had explained their roles very well. Timer explained the time criterion. The R counter explained his role well. Grammarian used the word of the day, and how to use the word of the day was also explained. Regarding table topics today, it was a unique way of presentation by the table topics master, Toastmaster Jyoti. She was helping us to bring out our quick thinking skills, and she also explained the importance of why the table topics is important to be attempted in a session, and how we all connected the word of the day to the theme of the day, which was very interesting. We all were able to do it in one go, in one speech. Regarding evaluations, Ashit had very excellent observation skills, and you delivered a good evaluation. Toastmaster Shakti, constructive evaluations with very focused inputs, which will help the speaker to improve for the next speech. The education session by DTM Arun Sridhar, I would say it's like he gave the treasurer's role and VP education role. It is a treasure for this session that we had him as an educational speaker, and he covered all the aspects very wonderfully. Regarding the Toastmaster of the Day, your theme was interesting, and something we all are aspiring for, to turn the dreams into reality. Regarding improvements, why improvements are necessary? Otherwise, we will be stuck in a small box. We will not come out of the rut. So for that purpose, I am going to explain the improvements that we need to make. Few role players joined only at 3:55. That causes a little bit of a confusion as who has not joined and who has joined in. So we all need to assemble a little bit more earlier to get comfortable on the screen. Attendance was low today. We only had 12 members. We could have had done more with numbers today. We could have had more members to take the benefits of all these wonderful things that we are offering today. Then the Toastmaster of the Day you can pause your vehicle when you are speaking, because what happens is you are the person who is conducting the session. So it is a little distracting when there is motion on the screen. So when your turn comes to speak, it would be good if you can pause the vehicle and speak. So that would enhance your presentation. I have also noted a few points about table topics evaluation, because the table topics were so good, I could not stop myself from evaluating the table topics as well. Regarding myself, I could have had a better closing or a better conclusion for my speech, though I have been able to interconnect all the word and the theme of the day. Toastmaster Suresh, well presented, quickly responded with a personal story. Even he could have had a conclusion, a better closing, how to close your table topic speech. Toastmaster Shakti, very quick anecdotes, linked all the set of words and the words which were given on the screen, and with a personal anecdote. So well done. And Bhuvanesh was also able to connect most of the words, and you also had structured your speech with what was given. Quick thinking skills, which enabled you to speak on the table topic. So kudos for that. Apart from this, as all the other criterion has been fulfilled, so now that my report as general evaluator is completed. Now I'll just take over quickly as the presiding officer. I'll make the announcements for the upcoming meeting. May 8th, we are having a joint meeting with Diamond City Toastmasters Surat. It is a Sunday, and the timings will be probably 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It will be a 2-hour meeting. We are having some interesting activities, not just the regular session. So please look in the group for the announcements. The other important announcement is May 28th is the election for the club ExCom officers. Toastmaster Anandita is the nomination chair. Please send in your nominations to the mail that she has sent you all. Please respond to the mail with the nomination. So with that, if the poll results are announced, kindly share me the role players, the results, please. I request a Zoom master to share me the results. Or please launch the polls. Yeah. Kindly vote for your role players. Also, please fill in for the roll call to the VP Education. We will be posting the roll call soon because we are out of time. I would not be able to share the roll call on screen. Kindly fill up for the rolls for the meeting on May 7th. The May 8th meeting and May 7th meeting are two separate meetings. Is the results Zoom Master? Can you share me the results if it is
just a minute. Just a
yeah,
minute.
sure. The best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Shakti. Please give a huge round of applause. Best speaker is Toastmaster Bala. Please give a huge round of applause. The best tag player goes to Toastmaster Anisha. A huge round of applause, please. Best role player is Toastmaster Jyoti. Please give a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
And the best topic speaker, myself, Toastmaster Nitya. So congratulations to all the winners and the participants. Thank you for attending. So with that, I would like to adjourn the meeting 6:65 and open the floor for networking.